Good morning! Mason's taking a nap and Ben's working on ABC Mouse. He's learning about JK and L. So while he does that, I'm going to read chapter 7. So I've actually tried to read chapter 7 like 5 times. I had a problem with my phone. It stopped working. Ben came in and messed up one of my videos. It's just been a terrible, terrible mess. So hopefully this one works out well. At the end of chapter 6, Herbert was being a turd. And he said to Ida, I'd sure like to see you make me, when she gave him his assignment. And so let's see how Ida reacts. Chapter 7. Herbert leaned over his desk and smirked at Ida. She was quite certain her pounding heart could be heard by everyone. The other children were looking down, except for Tom, who was frowning angrily at Herbert. Suddenly, Tom stood up, hands balled into fists. Herbert laughed. "Teacher's pet, gonna defend the teacher?" he taunted. "Tom, Cole, sit down," Ida cried. "I'm in charge." A reluctant Tom sat, even as Ida, with unsteady legs, stood up. The children gazed at her. The younger ones, Mary and Flex, were wide-eyed with fright. Momentarily, Ida glanced at the switch hung close by on the wall. "Hey, Benjamin, remember I'm reading, okay?"
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
She knew she could not use it. It wasn't in her. Besides, she knew Herbert would only fight back. If that happened, it would be the end of school. No, she'd have to try something else. She turned back to the class. "Herbert," she said, trying to sound calm. She sensed she was not very successful. "I asked you to study your history. Are you going to do it or not?" Herbert only laughed, leaned back, and put his feet up behind his head, and put his hands behind his head and his bare feet up on the front of the desk in front of him. "Hey, Ida, go play ABC Mouse. I'm just saying, you can try and make me if you want." Ida, finding it hard to breathe, walked up the side aisle. Herbert watched her come, but did not move. His grin had become frozen. Drawing closer to the boy, Ida said, "Herbert, are you going to do as you are told?" "I guess I'll do what I want." "Thank you, ma'am," he replied, trying to sound as if he didn't care. A deep anger went through Ida. Herbert would spoil everything. If she couldn't control him, the school would not work. "Does anyone," she snapped, "make you come to school?" "Come only if I want," Herbert retorted. But her unexpected question brought an edge of uncertainty into his voice. Everyone in the room was waiting to learn. Let me redo that. "Everyone in the room is wanting to learn," Ida said. "We all took a vote to keep this school open, so I guess we can pretty well just vote you out if we want. Then the whole valley will know you for what you are. A sunken, low-down, lazy dud." Laughter ripped through the room. This was not regular teacher talk. The grin on Herbert's face turned sickly. Gaining strength, Ida cried, "Is that what you want? To be known as a lazy dud?" She made a sharp bang on the floor by stomping her foot. Everyone jumped. "I ain't saying," Herbert said as he pulled his feet back from the desk. "I don't care what you say," Ida snapped furiously. "I only care for what you do." She turned to the class. "All right, students, we'll take a vote. Those in favor of forever expelling Herbert from..." Herbert sat up. "Hey, Ida, I was only fooling. What's my name?" "Aw," Ida went on. "All in favor expelling Herbert from this school. If he ever interferes again, raise your hands." She lifted her own hand, and the other hands shot up. "Majority rules," she announced, turning back to the boy. "You either do as I tell you, or you're expelled." Herbert's face turned red. "Hey, Miss Bison, I was just joshing," he mumbled. "Take out your history book," Ida commanded. "Yes, Miss Bison." Sheepishly, Herbert pulled out his old book, opened it, and bowed his head over the page. Feeling enormous relief, Ida looked around. Tom gave her a wink. Ida blushed and nodded curtly and then returned to the teacher's desk. She felt exhausted, and the day had only just begun. "Marian Flex," she said softly after a moment of silence that seemed to last forever, "you may come and read to me now." As the two youngest came forward, readers in hand, the room's tension melted. The others returned to their tasks. It was mid-morning when Ida suddenly realized that it must be recess time. She made the announcement. The children dropped their work and rushed out, except for Tom. "Aren't you going out?" Ida asked. Tom remained seated on his bench. "Am I going to have to call you Mrs. Bison, too?" he asked. Ida, suddenly fearful she might cry from the morning's tension, turned away. "Yes," she said. Tom gazed at her and then headed for the door. "Tom," Ida said suddenly, "it's a whole lot harder than I thought. I don't know if I can do it." He smiled. "You're doing fine, Mrs. Bison."
Table lamp with wood.
"Thank you," she said stiffly. "Going to take recess?" Ida sighed. "Teachers never do." At the door, Tom paused. "Miss Bison," he said, "don't forget who you are. It'll make it harder for you and your friends."
What's this?
Wonder what Tom meant by "don't forget who you are." Well, to find out. I also want to know what you guys think about Herbert and Miss Bison's little exchange. Can you imagine if a teacher actually spoke to a student like that? That would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.